So guys, NIO's got their earnings coming up very soon, Q3 earnings. It's going to be reported on November 20th before opening. So that's on a Wednesday before the bell opens. And in this video, we're going to be talking about what to expect for the earnings, what to look forward to. Also, I just really wanted to share this with you. This is a brand new ad from NIO, a commercial that really hits the nail where it's supposed to hit, about battery degradation and why you should choose a NIO. All the reasons why to buy a NIO instead of any other EV, right? Because of battery swap. So the plot of it is that there's this guy who's dressed as a battery. He's supposed to be a battery. And then throughout the day, he slowly gets more and more worried about battery degradation and the problems of battery health. Have a watch, all right?
Good morning. Another day of full battery. Is battery degradation a matter of probability? If the car can still run but the battery can't, I still okay.
Battery aging, isn't that just how batteries work?
Is fast charging really bad for the battery?
Do batteries really have an expiration date? What to do when battery warranty expires? Replacing batteries is costly. Ask around if you don't believe me. Should I replace or just swap for a new battery? This is simply a new type of transaction. Doesn't the battery degrade even when the car's not used? As batteries age, range decreases and they need more charging. The car loses its value.
Then you can no longer go long distances. The ownership experience sucks.
Are you really not worried about the health of your battery?
Another new day of full charge.
Now, I'm going to try to link the original video down in the comments below. It's in Chinese. I tried my best to do AI translation into English. Hopefully, the message was delivered across, and you can clearly tell that there's a big emphasis on battery expiration, battery health. As your battery ages, it can't really travel that long. It's very expensive to get a new battery. Fast charging is not good for the battery, and as time progresses, you get more anxiety with your battery, right? And then at the end, you see that same dude at the beginning who's doing battery swap, and he's not worried at all. And the main character, the protagonist, he's throughout the day he gets more and more confused, and at the end of the day, he's dizzy because he's running out of charge, and then his battery health is degrading. So very interesting commercial. I think it really delivers the message. Yeah, why you should buy a NIO. And I wish they'd made an English version for this as well. But for now, you can just watch the AI translated version. Very, very nice. It shows the emphasis, and more people are getting this, all right? A lot of people still don't understand the risk of having a very unhealthy battery on your EV. And when it comes to annual inspections, and my car will actually go through annual inspection very soon, it's going to go through battery inspection. And there's absolutely no chance that this car does not pass through battery inspection. And if it doesn't, I'll just go swap a battery, right? Whereas with the like millions of other EVs that are out there, if they don't pass the battery inspection, they got to get a new battery, or else you are not approved to drive on the road due to the risk of battery fires. All right, so the government is putting the hammer down on this because of the battery fires all over China. So people are going to wake up to this, right? Holy crap. In the video you saw this guy trying to negotiate a replacement for the battery, and the price is absolutely astronomical. Same here in China, right? We've heard stories about like a Polestar vehicle. You're trying to replace the battery costs more than the car because of handling fees and everything, which is absolutely nuts. Like, do you change the battery or do you buy a new car? What do you do, right? Even if you spend that astronomical price and you get a new car, you get a new battery, your car is still like, if you try to sell it, you still take a massive hit, except you just pay so much extra for a new battery, right? So you might be better off just trashing the car and buying a new car. So you're seeing that with a lot of first generation EV owners, people that have owned a BYD or owned a earlier version of a Li Auto. They're seeing that battery swap is the way to go, not just for convenience, but for battery degradation reasons as well. So it's great that they're delivering this message across, and slowly, as people understand this whole entire picture, more people are going to understand that battery swap is the only way to go unless you want to face a hefty battery replacement bill down the line. All right, so we're getting sidetracked. What about earnings? Earnings coming out very soon. Q2 earnings really propelled NIO stock up. All right, propelled NIO stock up. It was a very pleasant surprise. People were very happy with the results. And we have the Q3. Now, Q3 is July, August, September. And these 3 months, they all had deliveries above 20,000 per month. In fact, this is the quarterly best results NIO has ever had, period. Okay? What does that mean? That means you're going to see the quarterly best revenue results for NIO that you have ever seen, ever. All right? So they're going to have the best revenue results for NIO ever. How much better? Well, let's take a look at the specific numbers. I have it written down here. So in Q3, NIO delivered 61,855 vehicles. In Q2, NIO delivered 57,373. So NIO in Q3 delivered 4,482 more vehicles than they did in Q2. So that's a very pleasant boost in terms of vehicles delivered. So you're definitely going to expect revenue to be higher than Q2. That's a given. All right, that's a given. Now, how high? That's up to that's up to speculation. Of course, all these deliveries, they had about the same incentives as in Q2. All right, the incentives were pretty much the same, and in fact, in Q2 they were giving out free NIO phones and stuff, but in Q4, free battery swap vouchers, free NIO Pilot for 2 years. It was pretty much the same incentive. So I'm not expecting too much of a difference in terms of revenue per vehicle, okay? So revenue is going to be higher than Q2. But something to keep in mind, of course, in Q2, we also have Envo, right? Envo started deliveries at the end of September. However, it's not a huge amount of vehicles, 800 vehicles in September. So the impact to revenue will be pretty small, all right? But I'm sure they're going to talk about it, and it's going to be pretty nice. Like maybe it'll showcase some great margins. Maybe vehicle margins will see a very big improvement, all right, thanks to those few Envo deliveries. But going forward, right, vehicle margins are much better on the Envo vehicles than they are on the NIO vehicles. And CEO has said it himself. So you definitely want NIO to deliver a lot of Envo vehicles. But in terms of, are we going to be profitable, right? CEO has recently hinted that in October they made some profit thanks to decreased incentives on the NIO cars. But of course, we're not really expecting profitability for NIO yet. All right, with Q3, they're probably still spending a couple 100 million, probably like 300-400 million on R&D at least, right? US dollars. All right, so they're spending a lot on R&D, and also that's Q3 was also when they started ramping up production of the Envo cars. Factory put into gear, started pumping out cars. So there's definitely a sort of a material expense to that, right? They started producing cars in August for Envo, but they weren't selling them until the end of September. So there's going to be like some overhead costs to producing those cars that were not sold. And also, there's going to be a lot of overhead costs with building all those stores. So August, September, that's when they started opening a ton of Envo stores all over China. And you have all those stores, all those new sales staff. So you can expect capex to kind of be a little bit higher, right? Because they're building all those stores. So in terms of like what to expect, I think it's a very mixed bag. They're gonna have very big, impressive revenues, but also because they're expanding and expanding Envo and pumping out Envo, starting off Envo, there's going to be a massive price tag to that as well with the stores, building out those cars, showroom cars, test drive cars, but not selling those cars just yet. So definitely something to keep in mind, all right? But overall, I am expecting NIO stock to see a positive reaction from the earnings report, okay? I think investors will be happy with what they see when the earnings report comes out. So that's my personal opinion of things and how I see things. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.